This is the beginning of our training series about lobbying for the Philippine Human Rights Act. And this is requires a full training, not just a few tips or whatever, not a bunch of recipes, but a full comprehensive training on how to do these things, because lobbying is a different type of skill, and you have to, it's a new challenge for activists. So get ready, buckle up, because we have to get you conditioned for the PHRA. Are you ready? Let's go. I want everyone who's going to do this to be able to squat 180 pounds, deadlift 220 pounds, and military press 80 pounds. Also, 100 push-ups a day, and be able to run 5 miles a day. You got all that? Good. Now, you may be wondering, what does all this physical conditioning have to do with getting in shape to be a lobbyist for the PHRA? Well, I don't know. It's just totally fucking irrelevant, but it's a good idea anyway. We generally know how to put together a protest. You know, how do we put together the signs for the protest, the chants for the protest, how to communicate, how to give a speech. All that is important, but it fits into the other skill, which is to sit down with people in power and negotiate for what you want. With the Philippine Human Rights Act, this is really key. This is really important. Why? Because this has to do with people's lives. This has to do, people are being tortured, people are being killed and unjustly imprisoned, and they depend on us to be able to execute these things as well as we possibly can. Now the challenge is developing the know-how to do the face-to-face, i.e. the lobbying part. Now this training focuses on one of the most important, yet the most misunderstood aspects of the lobbying effort. This training focuses on how to schedule a constituent meeting with elected officials. So a lot of people have had this experience where they're calling into a congressional office and they don't get very far. It's just click, that's it. And a lot of this is very frustrating. And so to alleviate that frustration, you have to, we're doing this module here, which is about knowing who you're talking to. Now, this is very important. And what are their motivations and so forth. Okay, so first person in the office you should know about is the representative, the congressional representative. You should know the representative's committee assignments so that you can know how to prioritize the representatives in your region. So if you are dealing with, say, the Minneapolis area, you're going to be dealing with about 6 to 8 congressional representatives' offices. And so which ones are the most important, which ones are the least important. The trick there is if we know that the Philippine Human Rights Act is going through the Foreign Affairs Committee, you might see, we have a member, a congressional representative in our region who is a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Okay, that is a high priority for us, right? If we have a person who is a representative who is the majority leader, that is a priority for us. If we have somebody who is on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Asia Subcommittee, now that is a very, very high priority for us. So you prioritize these things according to the representative, find out what committees they're on, how senior they are, and that kind of stuff. What are their politics? If they're Democrat and Republican, yeah, but if they're a Democrat, what kind of Democrat? Are they a Justice Democrat, or are they a Democrat who takes money from large corporations. So which donors are their largest donors? This is very important. What are the recent positions of that representative lately? And this will help to inform you about the likelihood of their sponsoring the Philippine Human Rights Act, and it will just give you a sense of who you are talking to. Okay, so that's about the representative. The next person you should know in the office is the foreign policy staffer. In other words, in every congressional representative's office, there is usually at least one legislative assistant who handles the representative's foreign policy portfolio. That means that the positions on foreign policy that the representative holds, which includes the resolutions that representative supports and the bills the representative is going to sponsor. That is a very key person in the office, the foreign policy staffer. There's no way to know, at least, and I don't know, who is the staffer, who is the foreign policy staffer in the office. Of course, you can get the phone numbers and the names of everybody in the member's office, but they don't have a job description called foreign policy staffer. So we have to call and find out who that foreign policy staffer is, and that is very, very key information. And once you get that information, you better write it down, because that is very important for us to know. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the scheduler. So the scheduler is basically the first point of contact for you in the congressional office, and the role. This is funny because you could hear it in the description, but I just want you to break this down. The role of the scheduler. What is the scheduler's job? What do you think? Right? The scheduler's job is to schedule constituent meetings. You got that? Understand that? Because it's very key that you understand this. That the scheduler is, remember, I didn't say the scheduler's job is to reject, say no to yes or no, or approve constituent meetings. The scheduler's job is to schedule constituent meetings. And so the scheduler does not have the authority to say no to a valid request for a constituent meeting on a specific cognizable issue before Congress. So for them to reject a meeting request, that has large ramifications. I mean, for all we know, the representative is going to lose their next election because the scheduler fucked up and said no to a meeting request. So in order for a scheduler to reject a meeting request, they would have to go talk to somebody else in order to reject that meeting request. So it's a big thing. So the bias really is for the scheduler to schedule the meeting. And if you think about it, this is really important for like the myth of the Democratic Republic, that you, me, anybody, no matter what their station, should be able to talk to their congressman, congresswoman, anytime they want about an issue that they care about. And that's how it works. I mean, who else are we going to talk to about some federal issue? So based on what I've just said about that issue about the scheduler, they must schedule a meeting. Let's just figure this out for a second. You are a scheduler. Put yourself in the position of the congressional scheduler for that representative. Okay, so here we have the scheduler. Oh. Here we have the scheduler. Okay. And then we have the calendar. 5, days of the week. So now you have the schedule, la-di-da. I'm scheduling things based on what people are telling me over here. I'm just helping the little people here who want to make scheduling requests. Everything's fine. However, the job is a lot more complicated than that, because a congressional district usually has 700,000 people in it. So how is this scheduler doesn't have any hair, how is the scheduler going to deal with hundreds of scheduling requests? And the answer is real simple. For some of these people right here, he's just not going to call them back. That's all it is. So, some people are just important. They just got the bucks. And so, of course, we're going to call these people up. They got the bucks. But you can also get a call back. That was supposed to be a phone. That's you. Here. You can get a call back too. Just because you're the one on the phone. You're the one who emails all the time, and you're the one who doesn't give up. So, most of these people, they're out. They're not going to get on this schedule because they're going to give up. But you, on the other hand, that's why you're smiling here, you're not going to give up. You have completed Chapter 1, young Padawan. Now to continue your quest to be a Bionic warrior for the PHRA, go on to Chapter 2, the Golden Rules for Setting Up Meetings.